Well, hello and good evening. It's Sandy with Quilted Treasures and more here with what's on my crafting table. And before we have a look at what is actually sitting here on my crafting table this evening, just want to let you know that I've been working out the details for the online paint party. Now, if you're on the email list, you'll be getting all those details very soon. That's part of the perks of being on the email list. You are usually the first to find out about things that are upcoming and things that are scheduled and the fine details and all that good stuff. So if you're not on the email list, you can always type email in the comments and I will add you to our email newsletter. And that comes out once a week. All right, been working on some business stuff this week, been trying to get things nailed down for the online paint party, as well as doing just a little inventory and looking at possibly a craft show in November. Of course, you've always got to get yourself geared up for that. Make sure you've got enough of the variety of things that you offer. So just been looking over the calendar, planning out some things, and getting ready to ship out the October QT Kids Art Club boxes for those who subscribed to boxes. And also looking at the calendar, planning on when I will do another opening for members into the art club. Just keep on listening and checking Facebook for all those details. All right, so what do I have here tonight? Tonight we have a Nutcracker in Wonderland. This is probably not your typical Nutcracker. He has a peppermint on his hat, and so he is a peppermint Nutcracker. So as we get started, you will be able to see his details more and more. You can make out some of the little snowflakes around the edges. You can see his hat and the little peppermint there on top of his hat. So let's get started. All right, first, what I'm going to do is I am just going to go over again the white. I have put a base coat of white down, and you know what? I'm not going to spread that out like I normally do. I'm going to put this in my handy dandy little egg carton here. And we're just going to put another base or another coat of white down because the background is going to be white, but I want to make sure that I have a good coat of white before I get started because I don't want to have to try to come back and do a coat of white once I have started adding the colors, because then it's going to get a little tricky trying to get around my snowflakes. So I am just going to start here and start laying down another coat of white on top. Not much to see, so if I go off screen, just know I'm still putting white on my door hanger here. I'm going to turn him just a little bit so that way I don't get paint all over my water glass there. Well, I hope everyone has had a good week. I know sitting here going over stuff this week, looking at the calendar and trying to lay out some dates and plan out what needs to be done when. We're getting ready to hit another busy time of year where you've got events going on and you've got family stuff going on. That was one reason why, well, there was a few reasons why I decided to host an online paint party rather than an in-person paint party. With last fall, we still had the mask rules in place, and we were coming out of our big quarantine, stay at home. I don't know if you want to call that quarantine or not, but stay at home that we had done for a little while, and things weren't really full swing. Some things were some things were still shut down. And so last fall, I did some online paint parties, and I did them in Zoom. and I found out not a lot of people like Zoom, and that's okay. That is all right. I have come up with the idea that this year, the online paint parties that I'm going to do, um, I'm just going to do them like this, just a live style. And so I may not even be on the screen. The whole screen may be just nothing but what we're painting. And um, you'll be able to type comments in the comment section, comments to each other, comments to me, questions, things like that. So it's going to be different. We're going to have a private group and we're going to sit down and paint, but that does something else. You know, when you're doing Zoom or doing a room, if you do a room on Facebook, the problem is some people can't, because we're hitting into a busy time of year. Yeah, I can't talk this evening. Um, Not everybody can schedule. Not everybody's schedules are gonna link, and so somebody's gonna miss the paint party. So by doing it in a private group and doing it where it's like a live, it'll be recorded. It'll save the live. And so if somebody wants to take part in the paint party, but they can't attend during the live, they can still take part. You'll be able to go back and watch the video at any time. And so, you know, even if you start with me and then think, oh gosh, I forgot to do the laundry, or I forgot to get the kids a bath, or oh no, uh, the neighbor's having a crisis and I need to, go help. Um, Whatever the case may be, it'll be recorded. And so you can come back to it later. So that's what doing it live style will accomplish. Number one, everybody's not on camera. Number two, if you can't attend live, you can still be a part of the paint party. And I've thought about calling it something else besides online paint party, which I mean it is online. That's not it's not like I'm saying, a live online paint party. It is an online paint party. It will be live, but if you can't attend live, you can still take part because it will be able to be viewed after the live recording part is over with. Because I know, once when we're in spring and fall months, schedules go completely crazy. You got things going on with you got things going on with the kids, you got things going on with the grandkids. And I get it. My schedule looks kind of crazy sometimes too. Sometimes. Oh, for those of you who know me well, or have seen my scheduling, yeah, sometimes. That was funny. Okay, I'm going to turn around just a little bit this way. I was going to bring it to me, but I'm like, okay. I'm really trying. I should have grabbed my apron. I'm really trying not to get paint all over my clothes. I have managed to salvage a couple of my shirts that I finished my live and noticed I had paint all down the front of my shirt. All right, if you leave me a comment, I'm just going to tell you that sometimes Facebook does not post them when it should. And so if I miss your comment or if I do not see your comment, I will comment after the live is over with, and I am able to. I'm getting ready to set something up. I don't know if I'm going to snag my husband's computer, his laptop, or I may see if one of our an old tablet that we have will allow me to access Facebook so that I can see the comments and and make sure I'm actually live. Last week, it was crazy. It came up, I had everything going, saw the live, and then all of a sudden it went blank and said, "There's been an error." And I started to shut it all down, and I thought, "Wait a minute." So I got on my tablet and I went to the Facebook page, and I was there. I was fine, but it wouldn't do comments. It wouldn't even show I was there. I couldn't see what I was doing on that Facebook screen. So I had to use my recorder screen. It's another app that I use for making sure I get 2 camera views. So I'm looking for my apron, y'all. I already know if I don't put this on, I'm gonna have paint everywhere, and I don't want to mess up my pretty leopard print heart here. So I'm just gonna put that on. Okay, so I've got down a base coat of white now. Great, I've got a buildup of paint on my white, and it's not gonna let me close the lid. Lovely. All right, well, I don't have time to scrape that off right now. All right, I'm gonna dry this real quick, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to start with pink, because I'm actually gonna do this with it being a peppermint soldier. There's gonna be pink in it, and I'm gonna use some of the sweet mint. If you took part in the paint party box or gave a paint party box last Christmas, then the sweet mint was used for the background of the snowman that I did. So just trying to dry and get it set so that we can move on to our next thing. And I'm just going to start painting the pink part. It'll be our peppermint, and we'll paint his sleeves and his pants. Then we'll move on to the sweet mint. I'm going to need some more of the white in a few places, and we'll darken it up as we go. I didn't put a real heavy coat of white either time. All right. I still have some white left. I could go ahead and do his hair and his mustache. All right, I've talked myself into it. Let me find a... Nope, that's too big. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. That'll work. All right, since I've got white already, I'm going to go ahead and put a third coat here on my peppermint soldier's hair and his mustache. Y'all, I don't know if it's the lights or if it's just, time for a... See if that helps any. Some of these lines have gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, I can't really see. Okay. I'm overdue for an eye exam. But with everything being in stay at home mode last year, I was supposed to go to the eye doctor, and we weren't going anywhere. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not wearing my contacts, and I'm not really going out and needing my glasses, because I basically wear my glasses to drive. And I wear contacts because I don't like to wear glasses. But eventually you reach an age where contacts are great for far away, but all of a sudden you can't see worth a hoot up close. All right, so there's his hair and his mustache. Now, let's see, what else do I have white that I can try to use the rest of this white on before we move on. Oh, I know. I wanted to do a little shadowing with this. And so let me grab my angled brush here and we'll do a little shadowing real quick. No, I'm not going to do it with that. I was going to do some shadowing. Oh no, that's thicket. I thought that was gray. Uh-oh. All right, hang with me just a second here. I think I got it. Yes. This might be my darker gray, but it's okay. We will go with it. Put him over there. All right, so while my white is still pretty wet here, I am going to just shadow in a little bit here on his hair. Not a lot, and it'll vary in different places. Just give him a little shadow to his hair. Ugh, I am no good at doing that upside down now. I have tried and tried. Let's put a little white back on that so it's not like super gray. We don't want him to look like he has gray hair. We just want him to look like he has a shadow on his hair. All right. There we go. Do I need any on his mustache? No, let's not put any on his mustache. Matter of fact, we might lighten this one up a little bit more. So that way it's not really bold. It's just an ever so slight shadow. And that one's still pretty bold, so I'm going to come back and go over him with just the white part for a little bit. Probably this lighter gray color that I'm actually accomplishing in this one little poof here. Can you say a poof when it's a guy? That's probably what I was really going for. I didn't mean for it to be quite so dark. All right, so I've basically used up my white. So what I'm going to do, I am going to now move to my sweet mint color because it's going to be the biggest part. But do I want to do, no, let's do pink. Yes, I'm changing my mind as I go, which I had said I was going to do pink. Get a good bit of pink there. All right, now, let's see. I'm going to go with this. Yeah, I'm going to go with this filbert tip. All right, so I'm going to start with my peppermint. I like the filbert tips, which is a flat brush, but it's round. The end is round, it's not flat. I like it when I have to do curves or circles because, well, it's not good when you do something like that and throw it off out in the middle of Peppermint's soldier's hat. Sandy. That's why I have a baby wipe handy. Oh, not good. Get off my door hanger. All right, come here, little peppermint soldier. Oh, there's another little space where I got outside my lines. Okay. All right, while I got him turned around, it's easier for me to reach him when he's over here. All right, so there's part of our light pink. I did do the poodle skirt, right? Yes, because I think that's darker. It's coming out a little darker than what I thought it would. It's funny, I have a number of pinks from doing baby girl stuff and just some girly stuff. So I've got baby pink and I've got poodle skirt pink and candy, cotton candy pink. And oh my goodness, I've got so many pinks. It's crazy. Now with straight lines, I usually try to use a flat brush, but since I used my filbert tip for the peppermint up there, I am just using it on edge to go down and down my straight lines. Okay, now his pants. And I'm just going to come kind of outline around. And I may not have to do, y'all know me, if you've watched for any length of time, you know I always put 2 coats on everything just because I want to make sure it's well covered. But I'm looking at this going, no, I see a little light area there. So no, we're going to do a second coat. And somehow I thought I was going to need a lot of this pink. If you've been with me very long, you also know I don't like to waste paint. So yes, I'll be putting it back in the bottle. But you know, we had prices of things go up after we were all in stay at home mode, and you know, I don't want to be wasteful. You know, I know I'm not the only one because I've heard other people say. All right, that's going to drive me crazy. I put a bead up here. And if you don't know what a bead of paint is, I got a little too much on my brush. And then rather than starting just slightly off my line, I started right at my line. And so I made a little hump of paint right on the edge. And the thing about having a hump of paint right on the edge is that number one, it doesn't dry evenly. It takes longer to dry. And then you risk sticking your hand in it. I'm speaking from experience. Trust me, I know these things. I have been in lives and put my hand in the paint and had paint everywhere. Oh no, don't put that in there yet. I'm going to salvage my paint. Y'all hang on just for a second. I can't waste my paint, especially not the pretty pinks. They come in very handy. I did a poll. No, I didn't actually make a poll. Well, I did make a poll, but it's not like a poll that you know, put a flag on or anything. I did a voting poll in the group and also on the Facebook page about whether the Christmas option for the online paint party should be a nutcracker or a gingerbread house. And they were tied for a good long while, but the nutcracker, I think, officially won out. So that inspired my nutcracker friend this evening. All right, so I am going to now, and I hope to goodness I've got carousel pink. I think that might be better than the pink that I chose. Petal pink is probably going to be too. I know I'm knocking the camera around, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh no, that's way too orangey. Nope, that one's too orangey too. Uh-oh. Crashing stuff online on the live. No, he's not gonna work either. All right, hopefully I have enough carousel pink. Carousel pink is one of those I've used a lot, especially in summertime stuff. And I can't seem to find it when I need it. So I have yet to replace my carousel pink with another. All right, I'm going to turn him around. I know I don't usually like to do that because I don't like for y'all to be upside down watching me paint. But I'm going to turn him around, and then I am going to get a round brush to get into the little area that is the stripes on the peppermint. So I'm going to come back, and I'll have to do a couple of coats of this one to make it really have its true color here. And I could have added a little white to my what was this one? Poodle skirt pink. Yep, I could have added white to the poodle skirt pink and lightened it up a little bit more. Probably would have been more of the pink I was looking for. But it's okay. By using my little round brush, I can get into this itty bitty spot that comes to the middle really well and make sure all of my stripes have a good point. Thankfully, even though I'm having to do a lot of brush strokes with the round, it's not a big enough area that they're going to just stand out once it dries. All right, so there. Oh, well, now that I see it together, I kind of like that. See, sometimes you think, oh, it's a mistake. And then you get through and you're like, oh, look, it worked out wonderfully. All right, I am not going to do any drawing as far as lines. I'm just going to freehand these lines on his shirt and his pants. They may not all come out the same size, but you know what? That's okay. It's so funny. I said they might not all come out the same size. I remember I had a shirt one time. Loved the shirt. Loved the pattern on it. It was kind of a busy pattern. Had kind of a, I don't know, there was a really pretty round circle that looked like almost like a stained glass window, and it had beadwork on it. And the crazy thing was, looking at it, everything looked fine on the hanger. You know how that goes. Looks great on the hanger. Get it home, you see all the, oh my goodness, I missed this. Oh, I didn't see that. So I get home and I had put it on at the store. I had, looked at it in the mirror. Everything looked great. And I get home and I go to wear it for the first time. I put it on and I noticed that the entire pattern on the shirt was actually crooked. So so I wore the shirt. I still wore the shirt. And nobody really noticed. I think I had one person say something about it one time. But it was crazy because I got to looking at it and I'm like, I'd move the shirt and I'd look at it and go, that's not right. And I moved the shirt again and I'm like, that's not right. So if his stripes are not perfect, they're just not perfect. It'll be all right. The actual clothing world does not produce perfect clothing, so hey. I am not a seamstress. And some of you are probably thinking, yes, but you sew. I quilt. I do quilted stuff. I leave the sewing to people who can actually sew. I am not a person who can sew. It's so funny. I had a friend challenge me to make a bear. Yes, an actual bear. And it had a pattern. I was like, I don't know how to deal with a pattern. All my quilting that I do, I cut squares and but I measure them. I don't put a pattern down on it. And so it was kind of funny. She laughed at me that I sewed and had never used a pattern. But that's okay. I laughed too. I was like, I know that sounds weird. All right, so there are some stripes um, on our little peppermint soldier. And now I'm trying to get something moved over on my screen so I can see one more thing. Like I need to be seeing one more thing. All right, I am going to go to a flat brush that I've got here real quick because, yeah, I just put all that pink back in that bottle. Well, nope, that's the wrong pink. Oh, I was getting ready to mess up. I forgot the band on his hat or the brim on his hat, whatever this little piece is right here, it's supposed to be pink too. And it's supposed to be the light pink. All right, so I'm going to quickly dry this, and then that way I can put second coats on everything. All my darker pink, and we can move on to the sweet mint. There's going to be a lot of the sweet mint color. All right, so I'm going to put second coat here. And while this is drying, I'm going to hit the darker ones again with a second coat. my darker stripes. Okay, so there's that, and I need my green round. I'm going to turn him back around this way and go over my stripes again on my peppermint. So, if you would like to be put in our newsletter list, which is the list that will be getting all the details about the online paint party this week, very soon. If you would like to be on that list, just put email in the comments. Try to straighten up my little bands of darker color here. There was something else I was going to tell y'all about. Oh, I need to get an idea of who's interested in joining the online paint party. There is a link to my email address in the description. You can click that link and simply email in the subject line paint party, and I can start getting an idea of who would like to take part. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get started on the sweet mint now. I think we'll go there next, because that's going to be the biggest part of what we're going to be doing with our peppermint soldier. All right. Do I want to use a flat tip, or do I want to use... I'll use a flat tip. Let's see. Here we go. I'll use the bigger one. Maybe that won't be too big. Maybe that is too big. This is part of my dilemma when doing things, is trying to figure out whether or not I have picked a brush that is actually too big. I think we'll go with him. He looks like a good size. All right. It's also my second dilemma. I take my glasses off when I'm doing projects, and then I try to figure out, now I've got things in both hands. How am I going to get my glasses back on? Y'all don't laugh. Some of y'all have done that too. And no, we're not even going to discuss losing the glasses on top of the head. We're not going to go there. Actually, the one worse than that is looking for your telephone and you're holding it in your hand. I was not on it though, okay? So I can't, that one don't count. I was not on the phone. Uh, but I was looking for my phone and it was in my hand. It's kind of like looking for your keys and they are on a bracelet or bangle or stretchy cord attached to your wrist. Yeah, we've done that too. So most of the time we start with the lighter colors and work our way to the darker colors. And I did to a degree, but I have not painted the midsection here with the buckle or the buttons and the, I don't know if that's rope or chain or what exactly you would call that. And I may have gotten just a little bit, still may have gotten just a little bit too big of a brush for what I need here. But this area is so big. All right, I'm gonna try this. Nope, it's not gonna work. All right, spin this around here and let me have this brush and see if this brush will do it. This is gonna be one of those nights where I end up with 400 brushes to wash afterwards. Because I started with one brush and then, oh, I didn't pick right. And I had to get a different brush. But sometimes it's hard when you've got the big areas and then you've got a small area that you got to try to squeeze the brush into. Okay, so we're starting to see our peppermint soldier take shape here. That's always a good thing because when you first look at it, you're like, well, you can kind of see the outlines, but I like him when he starts to come to life. Well, that's true for any door hanger or project that I'm working on. When you first get it and it's a blank, colorless canvas, whether it's wood or canvas or uh, any other material that you're going to be working with, you think, ooh, so many possibilities. But then once you get the idea down of what you want to do, then you're like, ooh, we got to hurry up and get some color on this because it needs some life. Okay, his hat. Let's get his hat done. And I'll go back and put a second coat on this as well. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, Sandy, if you were looking at the calendar, what day were you looking at? So that way I can kind of tell you yay or nay on the head count. I have settled on Monday, October 18th. Now, as I said, if you cannot attend on Monday, October 18th, By doing it in the live format, you can access that at any time. So it's not like you have to be. Now, if you are, of course, you get to chit chat with people and see who showed up live. But if you want to be a part of the online paint party and you look at your calendar and you're like, oh, I can't, but I really would love to paint, you can still be a part. And if you post a question, it'll still come to me and to the others that are in the group. And so we can always pull up our phones and go, oh, hey, so and so posted a question, and answer it. Or so and so made a comment and we can chat with you. The thing about doing it after I've done it live, you can pause and back up. A lot of the challenges that I do are set up that way. And so they go for several nights, and that's pretty cool because you don't have to get it all done in one night. But and we're usually learning techniques, and so sometimes it takes more than. Sometimes we'll spend a whole night on one part of the technique that we're learning, and it's funny because sometimes people have to leave, or some people are coming in late. Seriously, I'm beginning to think my brush is like wobbling here on the tip, and I think it's coming unglued. And so that's twice now that I have stuck paint somewhere that I did not want paint. This may be a brush that's either getting ready to be retired, or I'm going to take it apart and reglue it. All right, so to do this in a fine, pinpointed, precise area, I'm going to wrap it over the end of my brush and go back and get the paint out of these places it's not supposed to be in. All right, let's see if I can get this finished up. I guess I'll have to hold this on put a little pressure on the end so it doesn't go squirrely all over the place on me. Some of these brushes in my collection have been used a good bit. They have become my favorites, and I grab them when doing projects. And so I've got one over here that I think was one of my favorites, and I think it's the one I'm constantly looking for that came apart. And I think it started out the same way that this one is doing. It started getting a little wobbly, and the next thing you know, the end here, the black part, just came right off of the white part. All right, let's get the shoulders and the hat. And then we're going to do a few of our snowflakes in this color. Not all of them, but a few of them. You could do pink snowflakes if you wanted to. You could take the lighter pink and add some white to it and give it just a, really, I did it again. Oh my goodness. This is going to be one of those, it's going to be one of those, I've got to find a different brush. Just going to say it, I've got to find a different brush. I'm holding it on one side and it wobbles to the other side and all over the pink. That's okay. This is why we keep baby wipes handy. All right. Okay, let me turn him back around here where I can see him and take these off where I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to go back to my round brush. And the reason why I'm going to go back to my round brush is these snowflakes, some of them have some very small areas. And so I'm just going to pick a few. I think I'm going to do this one and this one. Maybe I'll do just about every other one in this color. And then I think I'm going to do the others in a silver. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to make sure I'm still where I can be seen because I am down at the bottom and I don't have much room to move. So just bear with me a minute if I go off screen. I'm just working on getting the snowflake in the sweet mint color. And with them being smaller, and they have a good bit of detail, it takes just a little bit longer. So I will probably not do a lot of the finishing details like I sometimes do on my live tonight. I will probably finish up the fine details and post that in the final pictures here in the next day or two. But we're going to get the main part of him done tonight. So that way you can see what all he looks like. All right, so there's one. Turn him around this way. You can see where I did the one. All right, now I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to work on this one and I'll pull him around here so he can be seen. Now some of these have a almost like a little halo look around them. This one does not, but this one does. And what I may do, you can do a couple of different things. I could have done the outside part with the sweet mint and left the inside white. You can go that route. Or you can add a darker color. So maybe a teal color. Or you could outline it in black and let your snowflake really stand out. I could outline it in silver. I'm going to be doing some of my snowflakes silver. Like I said, we could throw in some pink snowflakes. I have a, oh, that would be kind of crazy looking. I have a sheer looking pink that that I could that I could pull out. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, I'm gonna end up with two. I really wanted to do one of those. I guess I could do that one. If I did that one, then um, ah, move this out of my way. I don't need it right now. If I did this one, then I'd have these two side by side that I have to do something with. Hmm. Debate, debate, debate. Okay, I'm gonna do these two. I was trying to keep the colors down to not not a huge variety on my snowflakes. Ah, mosquitoes in the house. He'll either be buzzing me in the ear in a minute, or he'll be on my arm having a lovely dinner. Mosquitoes just love me. I walked outside a while ago and I was like, oh goodness, I could feel them. They were just flying around and I could feel them hit my skin. I was like, oh, I'm going to end up with all kinds of little bites on me from being out. But it's so, with the cooler temps out, it's just so nice that I just want to get outside for a few minutes and enjoy the weather. Oh, I put him almost off camera. Okay, so one more, and I'm going to do this one here. And then we're going to pull out our silver, or no, I'm going to go back to, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to our nutcracker here, our peppermint soldier. And try to finish him up. Oh, I'm getting way off camera. That's okay. Y'all didn't come to stare at me. You came to see what I'm painting. Nobody wants to stare at the top of my head, and I know that's about what you see when I am in painting mode. One of my goals is to have an area, a workspace that I'm gonna flip around to this side. A workspace that I'm able to have bigger camera shots and wider viewing angles, so that way hopefully everything's not on top of each other. And I've talked about a couple of times putting the overhead camera on a stand, but the problem with that is that oh gosh, y'all. Okay, let me finish my thought. The problem with that is that I'm afraid with all the stuff that I have on this crafting table that it wouldn't be very stable, and the next thing you know it'd go whew, and that would not be good. Okay, I'm looking at my snowflakes and they've kind of got a, because I don't have two coats on there, there's kind of a white coming through, and I kind of like the way that looks. So I think I'm going to leave that alone for a little bit. And I am going to move toward doing the face and the hands. Now, for the face and the hands, I have got to have this one, the buff color. I'm running out of space. Our skin color. Oh, did not mix him up very well before I did that. That's okay. We'll mix him up before we start. I'm gonna need a smaller. Where are you, smaller one? Here we go. This will work. All right, so I'm gonna stir that up a little, so that way it's not separated when I get it on him, on his face. Wipe that off on my baby wipe. All right, let's get his face here. Get him some, I'm gonna turn him sideways, or upside down maybe. Ah, I seem to be picking the wrong brushes tonight. Okay. Now the most challenging part is this itty bitty area. It's right there by his mustache. Okay, well, not too bad. We'll have to have a second coat, most definitely. Let's get his hands. And he is starting to come together. All right, let's see. Is his face? Nope, I need to put a little heat and get his face dry, so that way I can start with the second coat and get it smoothed out. All righty. Get in these little bitty thinner areas. Around his mustache, and right there going up to his bright smile. All right, turn him around, get this hand. You can also tell which brushes I have used a good bit because they are starting to look like they stuck themselves in a light socket. meaning they're starting to get kind of frayed looking. There's actually a trick you can do to help that, but I just have not stopped long enough to actually do that. So since I didn't mix this up real well before I poured it out here, of course, now I have an abundance of paint in my egg carton here. I've tried waiting until after I finish up and then salvage the paint, but most of the time it dries. And so you can't really salvage it. It's just like my pink carousel. I didn't salvage it, and it's already starting to dry up. So, all right, next we need, let's see, do we want to start on, all right, we're going to go with the yellow color next, and I am going to use, I'm going to use a marigold color. I went back and forth between a Fiesta and the marigold, but I think the marigold is going to be our best bet. And I am going to get my round brush again. Round brush seems to be a good choice for this little peppermint soldier. Let's see, we need the belt buckle. And up against his other colors, this almost looks like a gold, which, I mean, it is marigold, but it would be really cool if it were shimmery. I do have a gold color that I could have used. I use it a lot on the Santa Claus stuff that I do. But I decided I would do something different. You don't want to do everything the same. All right, so his little chains. Paint them gold. Put just a little more on that one. And then we're going to paint this part in the marigold. We're getting closer and closer. Ah, I went a little too far down. Baby wipe to the rescue. Let's put it over the end. That way I can get in really, really close and get him off of the pink. Or get the marigold off of the pink. There we go. Do a quick little line back across there. All right, and I'm just going to hold him here for a minute, and we're going to pull our dryer back over here because it fell off the stand. Yes, you just never know what's going to happen when you're actually doing things live. Knock the dryer off in the floor. You see he's starting to come to life. We've got to get the silver on our other snowflakes. Get him finished up. And then what I'll do is I'll finish out the outlines and the highlights and all those little things, and I'll post those. Probably post the crafting table view tomorrow. And then post the other views where I actually take the backdrop after that. So we are probably going to be doing mostly Christmas stuff on Sunday evenings now, because that's where we're headed. Fall is officially here. And if you're thinking, oh no, I missed the opportunity to get a fall door hanger, no, or fall decor for indoors, if you've seen the easel art, no, you haven't. I am still doing fall orders, but I will probably focus on the Christmas ones, the Christmas designs on Sunday evenings, because that's where we're headed next. And then as we get closer to and I may do a Thanksgiving one, something for Thanksgiving. I've got quite a few different Thanksgiving things. There's one template I have that's a turkey, and his feathers are actually footballs. They're shaped like footballs, so you can either have them all look like footballs, or you can put different designs on them. All right, I think we are down to the last couple of colors on our peppermint soldier. And I am going to go with, let's see, this brush looks like it's not having a bad hair day. That's what I call my brushes that are getting frayed. They're having a bad hair day. And here it is. I was like, what happened to the chocolate brown? It's called dark chocolate. It's not really chocolate brown, it's dark chocolate. All right, so our dark chocolate is going to be on the shoes. Oh no, I think I did pick the brush with the bad hair day. Does that mean I have two of them in that water bucket that's having a bad hair day now? Oh, goodness. I knew I was going to get close to the edges with this one, and so I was like, okay, I want the flat one that's good and flat. So that way I don't have to do any major cleanup. And I picked the one that is frayed, and like I said, looks like he's having a bad hair day. He, she, whichever. Okay, now the other part that well, there's two more parts that are brown, actually. We have the that's not going to work for that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Back to the drawing board. All right, here we go. Yeah, that frayed brush was not going to do this one. This little belt would have been all over the place. Y'all, I don't know what it is. There's these tiny lines, and I feel like I'm having to be so very careful. Okay, and now his collar. All right, one more side. And I know y'all are thinking, but he doesn't have any eyes yet, and we're getting there. This brown usually takes about 3 coats, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the second, and I may or may not put the third on before we wrap up this evening. Probably should have just done the blow dryer on this a little bit to keep it from pushing paint around. This brown has a bad habit of the paint ends up getting pushed around rather than staying in place when it's still rather damp. When it is not completely dry. All right, we're gonna let that one go, and I'm gonna go back and get my round brush. And I forgot to put, hang on a second. Oh, hold on, don't go off the table. Yep, that's the brown one, okay. I just realized I forgot to do the center of the center here of where the buckle goes across. Okay, I'll have to come back in a second and do that. All right, so I'll need my round brush. Make sure I shake this one up pretty good. My silver and gold colors. Okay, good. Sometimes my silver and gold colors do not mix well, and so I have to make sure I shake them up pretty good. All right, let's see what this looks like. Ah, I like the way it stands out. Now, it may dry differently, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that once it dries, it's still not so much that I want my snowflakes to just be, I don't want them to take away from my peppermint soldier, but I do want you to be able to see them. I did the Christmas canvas here last Sunday. My weeks all run together, y'all. And I got through and I was so excited. I did glitter on the backdrop, and I did a gold shadow on the joy, the word joy, and I took pictures, and you can't see the glitter or the gold shadow. So I said, okay, no problem. We'll get out in the sunshine. So I get out, take a squinty-eyed picture because I am standing directly facing the sunshine to make this thing sparkle and shimmer and shine the way it should. And I come inside because, of course, nobody can see the picture when we're standing outside. You're looking at the screen of the phone and you're like, I can't see anything. So we come in and pull it up. No, still can't see the glitter, still can't see the gold. I'm like, I give up. I still may incorporate some pink. Not on my snowflakes, but I have some little uh just some little dots that are also here with our peppermint soldier, and I am thinking about making those little dots more of a very pale, very light pink. Just enough that you know they're there. I could take the sweet mint and put white to it and make it light and make them light that way too. We'll have to decide on that one. All right, so we only have the eyes. Oh, I didn't do his. Oh, his nose is still white. I've got to do his nose. What color am I going to do his nose? I know the snowflakes kind of look grayish on the camera view, but looking at it in person, it'll probably be that way on the pictures too. Looking at it in person, they look like I have done them with a foil texture. Uh, and so that looks so cool. I'm glad I picked silver. I'm glad I picked the silver color. Maybe I should have done them all silver. Hmm. That would have been neat looking. Hadn't thought about it. If I'd done them all silver, I might could have taken the uh, the sweet mint and gone around them, just like a little halo look. All right, one more. All right, I'm gonna pull him on this side and do him on this side. So that way you can kind of see a little better. I try to change direction so that I'm not painting the same exact direction every time. With the lights, sometimes it shows up better from one angle than the other. And so I'm constantly trying to find the angle that maybe works a little better. Don't forget to, let's see, If you want to be in the newsletter group and also get information pretty soon about the online paint party coming up, get all the details, then type add me in the okay, in the comments. Had a little message pop up there. Had to see what that was, but it's okay. It can wait till we are done. So add me in the comments will get you to the get you on the newsletter list. Or you can click my email address in the description. And send me an email that says add me. All right. All right, so I am just going to do a few of our little circles here in silver. And then I'm going to do a few in sweet mint. Here's a big circle. And then I may do a couple in light pink. We'll see. And I don't think I'm going to go back. I debated on whether to do go over the sweet mint snowflakes again. I don't think I'm going to go over them. I think I'm going to leave them just like they are because they've got just a little bit of white showing through. And I think it gives them interesting character. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pink and I'm going to add just a little bit of white to it. And that may be what I use for his nose. So let's see what that looks like. I've got my light pink, which is my poodle skirt pink, and I'm just going to put him, let's put him here. Just a dot of that and a dot of the white, or maybe two dots. And I'm going to get, oh, here it is. I was like, I know I just had that round brush. Just a touch more white, because I just want it to be the ever so slightest pale pink. I don't want it to compete with my peppermint soldier. All right, well, I may not get it any lighter than that, so we're going to go with this. Let's see, here's one here. And there's one here. And here's one. I do have one over there that I missed, in case you see it on camera and you're like, you missed one. I know I missed him. I'm debating on what color to do him. And one here. Oh, we'll go ahead and do him pink, since I've got the pink right here. And my brush is already dipped in pink. Now I'm going to take this pink and I'm going to use it on his nose. And I just stuck my hand in the pink on one of the snowflakes. Y'all know I'm good at that. Y'all know I'm so good at that. Go over my little pink ones one more time. Okay, let's see here. We have got to get his eyes and his, where's my skinny one? I want the little skinny one for this one. So I'll finish doing all the outlines and get him onto the page. But we want to be able to see his teeth. Y'all knew I wouldn't be able to stand it once I started outlining. I was going to start. You knew that? You knew that. You knew that. Okay. I'm going to stop there. You can see his face. Oh, but his boots need another coat. So I'll finish out the details and I will post pictures of all that good stuff. So I'm going to turn him around here for my time lapse and leave it there for just a second. And then I'll turn my time lapse off and turn him back around so that you can see him. And I'm going to put some finishing touches on him. He's going to have some lines to kind of define his shoes and his buttons. And I'm still debating on the buttons. I may do the buttons in a real true gold, or I may do the buttons in silver. So that way he has kind of a silver and a gold touch to him. But I'll do all the outlining, do the highlights. I'll post final pictures. But that gives you a pretty good idea of what my wintry soldier or wintry peppermint soldier looks like. And so I'll finish up with this door hanger and I will be posting pictures. Remember, if you want to be a part of the online paint party, if you want to get details early, then that will be going out to my email list and you need to type add me in the comments. And if you want to be a part, oh no, I'm sorry, backtrack. Add me, look at your notes, Sandy. Add me is the head count for the paint party. I'm so sorry, y'all. If you have typed add me, just go underneath, hit reply, and put email. Okay. And I'll know that doesn't mean to put you in the head count. Um, there's a link above to my email address if you want to send me an email about adding you to the email list or adding you to the paint party online paint party count. You can do that by email or you can drop it in the comments. Monday, October 18th, I believe, is I'll be posting all of this week. It's going to go out to the email group first. They'll get first dibs on the info. And then from then on, I will be posting it repeatedly on on the Facebook group and on the main Quilted Treasures page. I really can't talk tonight. Um, and if you're wondering, oh my goodness, she's not doing in person parties. Yes, I'm still doing in person parties. I just know that some folks, maybe due to health issues, or maybe they take care of someone in their family and they're not able to actually be, out and about because they don't want to expose their loved ones to um, to the COVID virus or to the flu or anything. We're hitting that time of year. So anything else that's floating around. So that's one reason why I went ahead and started setting up online parties. And I'm doing one that Quilted Treasures is hosting. But I'm still doing in-person parties. So if you're looking to do ladies get together over the holidays, or maybe a family get together and you want to do something in the realm of painting, then do touch base with me by email or send me a message here through Facebook, or you can text me at if you've got my phone number. Actually, it's listed on the page, so everybody has my phone number, I guess. So I hope you have a great week, and I thank you so much for tuning in with me this evening and checking out my wintry soldier. And yeah, we're into Christmas stuff now. So it's going to be this way for a while. So we're going to try to divvy it up a little, maybe not do all Christmas, but we will definitely be doing more Christmassy stuff as we get into October and definitely toward November. But we're not going to forget about Thanksgiving. We'll throw some of those in there too. Y'all have a great night and have a great week. Thanks so much for watching.